Like a lot of fellow Gen 4 kids, my first encounter with Munchlax was atop a spear pillar whilst battling alongside Barry in order to save the world from Team Galactic. I know that as the protagonist, my mind probably should have been occupied with the fact that Cyrus was trying to destroy our universe and create an entirely new one, but instead I was like, wow, look at that Munchlax. Where the hell did you get that thing? I never caught Munchlax as a kid. I just never figured out where to catch it, and that was mainly because I never tried to finish my Pokedex. I actually only recently finished my very first living dex, but I've always been fascinated by Munchlax in Gen 4 and how rare it actually is. And I only recently started thinking about Munchlax again because of this ecchi video I stumbled across a few months ago titled "I Solved Time Travel in Generation 4." It is a fascinating video where ecchi uses a DSI to manipulate the clock in Gen 4 without being locked out of time-based events for 24 hours. It is a really neat video, and I would highly recommend you check it out. Generation 4 has a bunch of silly things that are locked behind long and restrictive time barriers. One that probably comes to a lot of people's minds is the Heart Gold and Soul Silver Safari Zone. Oh, you want to catch a bag on? Yeah, sure. Do you mind just, you mind waiting, 110 days? But for me personally, the most iconic time-based mechanic in Generation 4 are the honey trees. You're introduced to the honey item through the man in the back of Floroma Town, and after buying some honey from him, you can start slathering the golden honey trees, waiting a very quick 6 hours, and then you have the chance to attract a honey tree Pokemon. In Sinnoh, there are 21 honey trees scattered across the region, and these honey trees are the only way to encounter the very rare Pokemon Munchlax. It was only a measly 1% encounter on certain honey trees. So after I watched that ecchi video, I remembered that I actually don't have my childhood DSI anymore, and I don't really feel like buying one either. So let's just look for Munchlax the hard way. Oh, but I don't want just any old plain Munchlax. I would like a shiny one. So in order to start this shiny hunt, I needed to understand a little bit more on how honey trees worked. Like I said earlier, the Sinnoh region has a total of 21 honey trees, but only 4 of these 21 trees have the ability to spawn the 1% Munchlax. Thankfully, with the help of the internet, we can use a honey tree calculator to determine which honey trees will have Munchlax. Let us begin. This calculator on dragonflycave.com will determine 2 of your 4 Munchlax trees based off of your trainer ID. You'll need your secret ID in order to find the other 2 Munchlax trees. And the easiest way to do this is through like a modded 3DS or an action replay, but I decided to just do 2 honey trees with my trainer ID. All right, 16839. 16839. Just pop in the trainer ID and then get my Munchlax trees. 2 of my Munchlax trees should be Route 206 and Route 212, Pastoria City side. So let's go check it out. So right above Orberg City, we just need to cut right here. There she is. This is our Route 206 honey tree. We'll slather some honey and then we'll check back in 6 hours. And then my other honey tree is right here, right outside of Pastoria City to the west. And we're gonna slather her with honey as well, and we'll see her in 6 hours. I'm also checking on my Pokemon Diamond file. I got the exact same trees as my Platinum ID. Hopefully that's normal. I don't know. Hopefully I also typed it in correctly. 11274. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. I'm gonna slather some honey here, and yeah, we'll see you in 6 hours as well. And with my 2 honey trees figured out, it was time to start the first part of this shiny hunt, which is, you know, finding the Munchlax. This hunt is super unique because for some people, the hunt to just find the target in the first place can end up taking a lot longer than finding the shiny. I know for some people, it took them like a week to find their Munchlax and others up to 6 months. So in the middle of December 2024, my hunt for the 1% lax began. Munchlax first try. It's an Apom. Could it be a Burmese? Let's slather her with more honey. Chirrub, chirrub. Stayed up till 1 a.m. for this. Comb bee. I had a pretty fun honey tree routine every morning. I'd start off my days by, of course, having my coffee. Coffin. Coffin. You gotta get down, buddy. What's wrong, Puff? Why you yelling? Lil Puffy and Lil Cleffa. Cleffa, do you think that there's gonna be a munchlax on my honey trees, baby? I'd then check my honey trees normally around 9 or 10 a.m. And then right after I streamed, I would check my honey trees again around 4 p.m. And then before I went to bed, I'd do my final tree check of the day. Sometimes I would forget to check at nighttime, but overall, I was pretty good about doing my 3 daily checks. If I only checked twice though, I really wasn't too upset about it. It was really nice to just check my 3DSs every morning with a cup of coffee. And boy oh boy, did I check those trees. Not a munchlax. Worm. Hey Siri, set a timer for 6 hours. Oh, I'm out of honey on my left console. Matt in the background. Hello, Matt. Oh, there's my 6-hour timer going off. Oh my god, Matt's face is being is focusing on his face instead of my DS. I just bought a bunch of honey on this diamond coffee copy, so there's no way I'm out already. Oh my god, I'm flying through this honey. Good lord. It's so much more tedious to refill the honey in or restock on the honey in diamond, because in platinum it lets you buy in bulk. Shout out to Costco. Burmese. Female comb bee. Interesting. I think that's the first female. While I was checking my trees every day, I started to learn a little bit more about how honey trees work and just how complicated they can be. And I'm using Bulbapedia as my main source of information for this. Basically, the Pokemon that you encounter from honey trees are separated into 3 different groups. If you're checking a honey tree that cannot give you a Munchlax based off of your trainer ID and secret ID, aka a non-Munchlax tree, there is a 70% chance you'll encounter a Pokemon from Group A and a 20% chance you'll encounter a Pokemon from Group B. And there is always a 10% chance you'll encounter no Pokemon after waiting the 6+ hours. Also, Group A and Group B are different depending on if you're playing Diamond and Pearl or if you're playing Platinum. But for the Munchlax trees, which are obviously the 4 trees of the 21 total, and the trees I'll be checking for this shiny hunt, I have a 20% chance to encounter a Pokemon from Group A, a 70% chance for a Group B Pokemon, a 9% chance for no encounter, and a measly 1% chance for a Munchlax, aka Group C. The 1% Munchlax is all of Group C. With the 17 other honey trees, there is obviously a 0% chance to encounter Munchlax, so a 0% chance to encounter a Pokemon from Group C. Oh shit, did I forget to slather this? I might have. We'll find out. Unless this just didn't have honey. I might have forgotten to slather this. I had no idea at the time that there was a 9% chance for me to just not get a Pokemon encounter after slathering a honey tree. So I thought that I was just forgetting to slather trees, and I was kind of gaslighting myself, being like, you know, why am I forgetting? How do I keep forgetting to slather trees? All right, well, I bought a tripod to make filming this hunt just a little bit easier for myself. One day it'll be shiny, and then the world will, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It's like 1 a.m. and I'm just really tired. Oh, it's thunderstorming. I think that's like rare to happen on this route or something. I don't know, I can't remember. Something is rare about this thunderstorm, or like the weather pattern is just not as common as just like the normal rain. Are we ever gonna find munchlax? I don't think we are. But maybe.
It was really fun to go back and edit this footage because I could see different things going on in my life at the time, depending on what was going on in the background, like a puzzle I was solving, a book I was reading, or a new coffee method I was trying. And for the majority of January, I consistently kept up with my munchlax tree checking every single day. I also learned another fun and neat mechanic about the honey trees, which is that immediately after a honey tree encounter, if you slather that same tree without slathering any other trees or encountering any other honey tree Pokemon, there is a 90% chance that this honey tree will choose a Pokemon from the exact same group the Pokemon you just saw was from. So if you finally find that 1% munchlax and you catch it, battle it, whatever, after that, if you immediately slather that same tree, there is a 90% chance that you'll see another munchlax, which is really awesome.
Oh, that's new. This is the first time I've seen a Heracross. Okay, female Heracross, we see you. But still not what I was looking for. But for some reason feels like a step in the right direction. I couldn't tell you why. Oh wow, another Heracross. Female Combi. Another female Combi. Oh my god, double female Combi. I feel like, I don't know, man. I'm very curious to see what the average like amount of time it takes for people to get a munchlax. If you have searched for the 1% munchlax, like any idea how long it took you? I'm very curious. I am prepared to go like weeks, even months. All right, buddy. You think we'll find a munchlax one day?
When February began to roll around, I started to get a little lazy with my honey trees.
Man, goodness, this is a long grind.
And come middle of February, I had just completely fallen out of the habit of checking my trees. My life just got super busy. It was my birthday, and then I started reading my first ever Brandon Sanderson book. I was busy. While scrolling Blue Sky one day, I saw a post made by my friend Quick Panic where he had found a 1% munchlax tree after a long search. And seeing that post inspired me to pick the hunt back up again and lock in. And thankfully, I didn't need to do too many checks because just 3 days later, my lax would finally show up.
Oh my god, munchlax. Oh my god. My heart is pounding. Holy shit, munchlax. Fuck you, Combi. Fuck you, fuck you. Holy moly, shout out to Quick Panic. Shout out to Quick Panic. Shout out to Quick Panic.
So now that I have finally found my 1% munchlax, we need to actually get into how this shiny hunt works. I'd like to shout out Sonics here. I watched his video on catching his shiny munchlax to learn a little bit more about how to make this shiny hunt work because it is a little complicated. As we know, the honey trees are a time-based mechanic. So if you just keep resetting in front of this munchlax encounter, it will eventually disappear after 24 hours, which is the longest amount of time a honey tree will keep an encounter. So what do? Well, first off, you want to make sure that you are saving before you check your honey trees. And once you've saved and you've encountered your munchlax, turn off your game and move your cartridge to a different console. Now, time is frozen on your game until you save again. You need to be careful that you don't accidentally save now that your cartridge has been switched over, because if you do, that will start the clock again. But if you do accidentally save, do not worry, you can just switch your cartridge over again. I just never had to do that, and I'm scared and anxious, and so I just tried to make sure I never saved.
I just got a soft reset for this wax. Okay, my heart was pounding. Well, that's exciting.
On March 27th, I finally began the hunt for my shiny 1% munchlax. Like I mentioned earlier, it is very likely the shiny hunt will actually be a lot faster than the hunt for the encounter in the first place. I started my munchlax hunt in the middle of December 2024, and it took me about a month and a half of checking to get my lax. But these soft resets for munchlax are super duper quick. And even though the shiny odds are 1 in 8,192 in Generation 4, I had a feeling that I would find find it a little bit faster than I found the Munchlax in the first place. You literally just soft reset and make sure you don't save. That is it. Something that does kind of spice this hunt up a bit though is that Munchlax can know Metronome if it's level 8 and lower. Some have said I'm a little familiar with Metronome. So if you're nervous, be sure to bring a Pokemon with Taunt, but this hunt really is super easy. I started this hunt offline, but decided to take it over to my Twitch channel as well. And I ended up getting pretty lucky. We're doing some chillaxing today, Talentless, yeah. Not the glue. Not the glue. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. Now we got Catcher. I can't believe this. And it's a woman. You love to see that. Wow. We were having a big conversation about wisdom teeth and tonsils. We gotta name her Tonsil Stone. We gotta catch this thing. My points. Yes, that's oh, look at the shine. Let's ultra here. Oh my god. I can't believe it, y'all. I can't believe we got her so fast. Should we name her Tonsils? And that's the story on how I caught the rarest shiny Pokemon that I own. My shiny 1% Honey Tree Munchlax. I'm excited to do more silly hunts like this in the future. And if you'd like to watch those hunts, be sure to subscribe if you want to, but also you don't have to. And thank you so much for watching.